Anytime we talk about lawsuits, Mr. Varney goes into fits.
He does.
But it did open the door a little bit, did it not, when you had this admission that, yeah, there's the link between getting hit hard and brain injury?
I can't tell you if it opens the door because of the unusual procedural posture that this lawsuit is in.
Yeah.
This lawsuit is a class action in which the representatives of the class, already Varney's having fits if he's watching
right
from
now,
wherever he might be, in which the representatives of the class are suing in behalf of every NFL player who has sustained a concussion. That case has been settled, and about 97% of the members of the class accepted the settlement. The 3%, it's a lot of money. It's into the billions. The 3% who rejected the settlement have challenged it and have asked for the opportunity to litigate their own cases. That challenge was argued before a federal appeals court in Philadelphia 2 weeks ago. So my guess is that the underlying case will not be opened up no matter what new admissions came out, because there were admissions made privately, not as publicly as yesterday, along the road that produced the settlement. And the evidence of injury to the players produced by their lawyers and their experts is truly overwhelming. Doesn't matter if the NFL admits it
So
or
going
not.
forward, does the NFL have to change the way it approaches this issue?
If it doesn't, it's going to be it's going to be spending a lot of money, or it may even be losing players who don't want to risk their post-NFL careers by getting injured now. It's a difficult position for them. They use what they say are the most protective helmets available. They have rules that are aggressively enforced.
It's a contact sport.
It is a contact sport, but it wasn't until recently that we learned that what we thought was innocuous contact was in fact causing permanent, irreparable injury and premature death. So the answer to your question is I don't think the statement yesterday will have an effect on the settlement or the oral argument in the Circuit Court of Appeals last week.
Could the NFL, from this point onwards, just clearly have someone signed, I don't know whether they do already, but sign a form that says, I'm aware of the risks involved in this sport and the large amount of hard contact that comes along with it, and by signing that, a player does away with any opportunity to sue?
It's a great observation. Prior to the lawsuit and prior to the awareness of these injuries and prior to the attitude of the NFL Players Union, they all have to negotiate through the collective bargaining entity.
Right.
Those type of waivers might have prevented a lawsuit. I don't think they will anymore, and I don't think the NFL will even attempt
because
to
no one would sign it?
Because no one would sign it.
Yeah.
You know, this is a big deal to the Players Union, and it ought to be.
I don't know. Don't you think players, if I'm offering you $80 million over the next 5 years, I'm playing football. I've played football since Pee-wee days. I know what's involved in football. And I've gotten to a point where I'm a professional star and being offered $80 million. Don't you think you'd...
Well, the flip side of that is the NFL has to provide an environment in which people can play football, produce the excitement that football produces so that people will pay a lot of money to watch it, but preserve the health and longevity of the players. It's the job of the NFL to find that happy medium.
But Judge, can I go back to the legal question here for a second? Because in that testimony yesterday, he cited research out of Boston, okay? Newer research. Right now, you can only diagnose CTE after the individual's death. But this research is now pointing to diagnosis when the person is alive.
Right.
Wouldn't that bring back the lawsuit? It could be a new lawsuit based on the change in the research, which he kind of put his foot in his mouth yesterday. I'm sorry.
It can't be a new lawsuit by the 1,000-member class of the original lawsuit. It is more or less too little, too late. You should have known of this before you settled the case. It could form the basis for collective bargaining in the future and the type of protection that newer NFL players will want or present NFL players will seek.
Don't think we've heard the last of this.
No, we haven't heard the last of this.
Interesting stuff. Judge, thank you so much.
Pleasure.
Appreciate it.